about a pastor, a certain pastor. He called me early this morning with a serious problem in their family. So after just encouraging him, I was just praying for him, praying about his family situation, praying for him. Then the Lord spoke to me, why this thing happened in his family. Then I told the Lord, but these other things happened in his family, and some other prophetic people had given him prophetic words which were contrary to what you told me from the beginning. So how is it can be contrary, Lord? Because those people were also sincere prophetic people. Then the Lord told me, He said, this is the reason why I always told all my prophets, now this is going to biblical days, to stay away from entanglement with society. Why? Because when, let's say for example, you have two good friends and you share all your burdens, all your problems to that person, and then you say, can you please pray and give me a word? See, the person with whom you are sharing, that person now becomes emotionally connected with you. When they become emotionally connected, your emotions will now get mixed with your spirit and hearing from God. They get so interwoven, and in such an atmosphere, whatever you hear will be in line with the emotions more than independent out of all this. That's when the Lord told me, see, this is the reason why. Look at Elijah, look at John the Baptist, away from all the crowd. They separated themselves so that when they come, it is a pure word from God, without any entanglements. Whenever I personally have any family problems and I need to hear from God, I never sit down and ask God myself, because I'm emotionally involved with the problem. I always have some very close prophetic friends, and I call them and say, can you please pray for me and hear what God tells you, and then we compare whether I've heard correctly or not. See, that is for our safety. So I built around a safety net. When Brother Neville and I first met in 1993, we made a covenant. You watch my back and I watch your back. And till now, 24 years have passed. We are still true to that covenant. So we should have like that. Stay away from all these emotional entanglements. That is why when people come to see me for prayer, I don't allow them to talk to me for more than 1 minute. Firstly, I'm not a pastor who has that great patience to listen to long story. You are trying to pour out your heart. Pastors have that anointing, that great compassion and patience, So, my patience runs out after 1 minute. So after 1 minute, I'll look at the person and say, okay, tell me in one word, what do you want me to pray for you? Just one word. Summarize everything in one word. So they'll say, okay, this thing, okay, come on, let's pray now. And then I catch hold of their hand and I pray, and I get an answer from God for their problem. Done, period. So no need to talk for 10 minutes or cry for 10 minutes. Save all that. See, don't get emotionally entangled. When you become emotionally entangled with whatever people are telling you, how are you going to hear? You cannot hear. See, this is one area where most people, 99.9% of people make mistake in the area of marriage. See, they like someone. A girl likes a boy or a boy likes a girl. They are so emotionally involved, and then they go and pray, Lord, is this your will? And then out comes out, yes, my daughter. 99.9% that is wrong. God did not speak to you, it's your own flesh, your own emotions speak to you because you already like that person. So if you already like that person, definitely you will hear a yes answer. If you already like and you hear no answer, you don't say, "Oh, be gone, Satan." And 99.9% of the time, that's what you all do. But when the no comes, that is the true God speaking to you. No. 2 years ago, one of my nephew was in love with a girl. So he came and told me, he said, "Uncle, I like this girl and I would like to marry her." So I asked him, "How well do you know this girl?" He said, "Just 3 months." "In 3 months you have decided that this is the girl that you want to marry?" "Yes, uncle, I prayed and I felt God telling me that this is." He was so sure, no? So, and he's a very, very close nephew to me, so I didn't want to say anything. He said, "All right, just don't rush into anything. Just be friends, take it easy, you're very young." He said, "No, uncle, I'm very sure this is the girl I'm going to marry." So he kept on repeating the sentence several times. I said, "Fine." And I didn't pray about it. I didn't want to be bothered about it. Okay, if that's what he has chosen, so be it. Now, about 3 months later, I was fasting and praying in Israel during Rosh Hashanah. And on the day of Rosh Hashanah, I was caught up to heaven. And I appeared before the Lord's council. And the elders in the council, they spoke to me about some matters about some nations and some events related to the end times. So after the conversation was over, and one of the presiding elders in the council told me, "Okay, you may go." So I turned and walked, and then the elder called me back. He said, "Please come. We have one more matter to tell you." And I say, yes, sir, what is it?" And they said, "The girl whom your nephew likes is not the will of God. And she is not the right match for his calling." Now they did not say she is not the right match for his life. They said she is not the right match for his calling. So I was just surprised because by the concern. So when I came back, I was going to send a message to my nephew of what I heard, and then suddenly I realized that day was his birthday, and I got him a birthday gift of a no answer from heaven for his life. Anyway, so I didn't send him the message on his birthday. Let him enjoy the birthday. See, I was being a good uncle. Am I? So 2 days after the birthday, then I dropped the bomb. But my nephew was very obedient to the word of the Lord. He never asked me for second confirmation or third confirmation because he knows me. He said, "When uncle says a word from the Lord, it is a word from the Lord. So don't need to ask for second confirmation or third confirmation." So he immediately broke off with that girl. But after he did that, there came an upliftment in his life and in his ministry. And that girl, later on we used to talk about it, I said, "If that girl was still in your life, do you think you would have got this promotion?" He said, "No. That girl would have dragged him down because she was not the right match for his calling." But we rewind this thing back. He told me when he prayed, he felt that this was the will of the Lord. Why? Because you already like. When your emotions were already involved, you will certainly hear a yes answer from heaven because it's intertwined. So don't trust your emotions when making very important decisions where you are already deeply involved. Always go to your church pastor or an elder whom you trust the most for some counsel and for some help. Or wait on God without rushing into making a decision. Just wait until all these emotions fizzle out. Then when you are settled down, when you are still and quiet, then you can hear correctly from God.